Hi, welcome to my channel, Mixed Media Creations. Today we have a tutorial in the quote journal series. The first part of the video, I walk you through how I match the focal images, backgrounds, and sentiments. If you're not interested in that, fast forward to 1717 and see the 3 quote journal pages I created.
Hi everybody, Creative Katie Karen Burchill here, and this is my quick fire quote journal, and I am getting ready to pull together some of the possibilities for certain pages in the perseverance theme. I've done the change one and I have a few in the perseverance, but I'm going to just grab my possibility pack where I've got magazine clippings, I've got pages here, magazine clippings, and some pages. I did some more backgrounds, so that's in my possibility pack, and I have some of my quotes here that I've pre-cut a little bit. So lots of this has been done ahead of time, and I'll put a link to the video where I talk about exactly that, how you can break the collection and the preparation for doing these art journal pages into little bits here and there, so that when you do have time to sit down, it's almost effortless. So I'm just going to pull out my stash here and put that away. So I have all these lovely, lovely, lovely backgrounds, and what I want to do is look at a few of these pages and see if I can match sentiment, picture, background, so that then I can just sit down and create. So I have a whole collection here, various things, you know, some really make me think of perseverance, some are more general and neutral, and they may stay in the possibility pack for several months or several themes. I put an all call out to my friends and I said, okay, if anybody has magazines, you know, if you're spring cleaning and you want to get rid of magazines, like, I'll take them. I don't care what kind right now, just, you know, I need some more pictures for my quote journal. And that isn't the typical way that I art journal, using a lot of that, but when I do journaling by fives or when I'm doing my quote journal, I'm really enjoying using this magazine. So grab your possibility pack, your colored backgrounds, your sentiments, and you can do this with me. That's what I want this to kind of be. So here's a Energizer bunny. So I am just going to audition, ooh, I like that on there. That kind of goes on. That one's not bad. You know what? I think I'm just going to put that on here. And I think I have the perfect quote. Didn't come this far to only come, no. Perseverance. I'm just going to set these up here so that I can. Perseverance is not a long race, it's many short races. You know what? I'm liking that one. So I'm just going to stick these on here, saying that I want them to go together. And maybe a map. Nope, I'm thinking I'm going to do less is more. I like the background. This one might be a very quick, easy one to do. When you're using smaller sheets, one of the things that sometimes you need to edit yourself, limit how many things you're going to do. So we have one page, so that's great. You know, we have this kind of iceberg And I'm not sure perseverance, stubbornness. I like the blue, but you know, I think the iceberg might go better with a different theme. I have all these die cut feathers out of gel prints. So let's see. No. And I'm looking in the camera to see that orange ones. It's a little too dark. Ooh, maybe. And that would be just kind of layer these up. That might look better on a lighter background. Ooh, 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 ooh. I really like this one. Okay, so we have, that kind of looks okay. Whoop, that one's broken. Looking in the, that one's a different pattern, so I'm not, well, what about these? You know, I like that one. Now, can I find a quote? You know what, I'm just going to put those on there. Maybe I won't find a perseverance quote, but I like this. We have words that are showing, so that will be the challenge on this one. Either I'm going to strategically place, ooh, hang on. You know what, I like the feathers. I like the feathers. So I'm just going to put those on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of them. Not sure if it's even going to be perseverance. But I kind of like that. I like the white space, but I will have to get rid of some of the print. Somehow camouflage that. So we'll set that one aside. Sometimes you can just add, you know, a little bit of flower. I like how this ruffles, kind of mirrors the ruffle on the page. And I'm just giving you the, you know, what I'm thinking, just to give you ideas. So when you're looking at yours, that birdhouse one, kind of cute. I don't know, it's not reading perseverance to me. Okay, so I'm loving, loving, loving this page. But we have this big bold thing, so I'm going to have to either put a sentiment on top of that or the picture. Something, no. The flowers, you know, I think I'm over the flowers. I don't know. You know what? Maybe. Maybe. I kind of like that. But I have one that's similar. And this could be up here, right? You know what? I think I'm going to go with this one. I didn't come this far to only come this far. And we'll see. How that goes. Now I have this, and can you see it's peacock feathers? I'm wondering if I have something that's, if I put several of those like circle ones on there. Oh, there we go. That even has. So you're just picking out an element, something that you have that's there that you put without knowing where you were going. And I have more of this paper that I built in my stash, so I could put several peacock feather ones in there and then have a quote in there. So that. Okay, so we have several pages here that we just kind of matched. I'm not sure how long that took, but we have, you know, a peacock page. I don't. Oh, I kind of like that font. Maybe if I found more of these. You know, again, these are simply ideas right now. They are, you know, I can, when I go to create, I may have an idea with that. I may change my mind with that. So we have that one, and we have feathers. Don't really have a quote for that. I'm going to put this one on here because I got ink on this page. Perseverance, I'm loving that. And that one and that one. So we have options. So I think that I'm going to pull together all of my, oh, we have this one. I'm gonna just, oh, there we go. Found it's important, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. I like that together. Okay, let's see if we can match this to a background. And I even put on here yellow dot splatters. And I apologize for the sound. They are fixing sidewalks outside my window. I kind of like that one because we have that yellow in there, and that one maybe too. No. Ooh, I like that with the gold in the background, but you know what? That's kind of dark. I think this, well, another dark one, but I like that. Okay, so I'm going to put everything away, and then we're going to come back and start creating.
So for the first quote journal page, I had this girl with this traffic sign, but it's gotten a little bit tattered and torn. And then I remembered I had this stencil from the Crafter's Workshop, and I will put a link to this if I can find it in Amazon. And I decided to, instead of using the magazine image, I'm going to use these arrows, and I'm going to still go with the background that I had matched to the focal image, but my whole plan is changed, and that's the way it goes. So I just wanted to see how that stenciled, what it looked like, and if I thought that it was going to be good on the background that I chose. I played with the idea of using modeling paste and a metallic, but in the end, I just choose to do it with white paint. I figured that would show up the best. And again, sometimes simplest is the best. So this art journal page took about 20 minutes all told, grabbing out supplies and doing that. So I decided that with the quote that I had picked, I'm going to have the arrows going down and then the arrows going up. I felt that that went really well with the sentiment that I had picked. The stencil I've had, it was one of my first stencils, and I've hardly used it, so it felt really good to get it out. Now, because I put the arrows where I did, I need to cut my sentiments up. And again, these sentiments are just printed up on copy paper. Nothing too terribly fancy or particular. I didn't even use any thicker copy paper. It's just the standard issue. I'm putting some at the top and some at the bottom, so your eyes will follow and go down throughout. Kind of liking that. And there's my inspiration. And sometimes that's all it takes is you have that idea. I kind of laughed because I could have made the arrows in yellow, like I matched that sign, but decided I needed some splatters on there. I am loving my Tim Holtz Media Mat. It is such a joy to clean it. I just spray it with my Murphy's Oil soap. And the quote that I have here is, if it's important, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. And I think that's really true in life. So, in the whole thing of perseverance, I think what we need to do is think, how can we make it work, as opposed to giving all the reasons why something can't work. And apply that to your art journaling as well. What can you use? You may not have the exact stencil that I have, and if you don't, that's fine. That doesn't mean you need to go out and buy it. We can't all have everything. You can cut out a template for an arrow and overlay another stencil inside it. Now I'm using my fine line bottle with black paint, that's thinned acrylic paint, that's just the right consistency. And I just wanted to make the arrows stand out a little bit more than what they are. Using gel matte medium to get the sentiment down. Now the background, I did this was on the gel plate, and there I used another Crafters Workshop stencil. And I believe it's called Script Dots. And again, if it's in Amazon, I will link to it. Now, because I'm doing many pages in this session, I'm doing 3 pages that I pulled together. I'm just wrapping the gel medium brush in plastic wrap so that it doesn't dry out and I don't have to wash it out. Now, instead of using black to go around the outside, I decided to use white because I splattered with white and it really lightens the page. And now I'm using black around the words that kind of match with how I've outlined the arrows. Sometimes you have to watch when you're outlining the sentiments. If you get too many or they're too close together, that may overlap and may cause a problem, but really like how that one turned out. And get ready for number 2. And this one, I am using the Energizer Bunny with the globe. And I really enjoyed the sentiment that I picked with that. But I needed a little bit more black. That world is very dark, and I needed a little bit more black in the background. So I grabbed these Tim Holtz mixed media stamps, and there's a set of 4 of them, which is absolutely wonderful. He has 2 of these, and I will link those. And I want a little bit more black in the background to tie in with the focal image. So these are good general stamps. I'm just using black archival now that I have an idea about where I'm going to do it. And it's just a little bit of extra detail. And because I have the archival ink out, I just grabbed a makeup sponge and I'm just edging the sentiment, just to give it a little bit of outlining. To be honest, I prefer using the fine line bottle I find doing this to be very, very tedious. And inevitably, I make smudges and it doesn't end up always looking the best. Or I end up wanting more of an outline or shading. I just remove the tape that I had on there. And remember, when I've pulled the possibilities, I just tape it down to the background so that it's ready to go when I'm ready to do it. And the sentiment says, perseverance is not one long race. It's many short races, one after the other. I'm quite happy with my quote journal being able to use some of the magazine images that I've had in my stash for several years. You know, tapping your fingers when you don't know what to do because you're thinking. And here I just grabbed the Stabilo All pencil to go around the edges. I'm just going to activate that with some water on a brush just to frame the page. This one was a very simple page. When the background is pretty much done and there's not much figuring out on the composition, an art journal page goes together quite easily. This one in real time was about 10 minutes. And I'm just putting the Stabilo All pencil around the quotes just to make them pop out a little bit more too. And there you can get a close-up look. And we're done our quote journal page number 2 in this session. This whole session from the beginning, pulling everything right to the end, took just over an hour. And now we're on to the third quote journal page. Now I absolutely love, love, love this background. And when I chose the script stamp, the black really spoke to me. And I thought, okay, I'm going to add a little bit more black. And this is one of the Crafters Workshop new for winter 2019 stencils, and I believe it's called Delicate Impressions. And I'm just using this part. I've masked off the rest. And this is just going to be some pattern behind the dragonflies that I am going to put on here. And I cut out these dragonflies I had stamped in a Build Your Stash session, and they were stamped on watercolor paper. But you could stamp it on just regular copy paper if that's all you have. Just edging it with black. I'm loving the black, white, and pink theme. Now that 2019 is just showing up a little bit too much. So, I mean, I had to plan strategically to place the sentiment or a focal point or focal image on top of it. And this is another great quote. I didn't come this far to only come this far. Adding a little bit of black splatter here just to introduce black to the rest of the background. And I tried painting the dragonfly teal because I thought that would really show against the coral pink background. And then I didn't like it. So I grabbed this metallic pink. This is Martha Stewart's pink, and just decided that, you know, I'm just going to go kind of tone on tone. So I paste this Crafters Workshop, the Shimmery Goodness, which is kind of an opal, white opal color, and gives it that metallic sheen and really lightens it and makes it look more like a dragonfly. They always look so kind of glossy or whatever. And then I decide I'm going to stamp on top because all the lines disappeared. I could have just drawn them in, but this worked really well. And I put the stamp flat down and just press the paper onto it. So the dragonfly is just a very, very, very light pink. And if you don't have the shimmery goodness, you can use just lighten the pink with white and then maybe use some iridescent medium. Now, if this wasn't going in an art journal, in a book, I may have made the dragonfly be more 3D. And so the wings wouldn't be glued down flat. And drawing in between. I'm just going to edge it with black because, well, it just goes with my theme. Black, white, and any color can make a perfectly wonderful background. And I kind of did a double layer here and made it a little thicker. I think I goofed and I made a mess, and so then I had to go back and do something on purpose. But I really like the extra bold underneath the sentiment. And those are the kinds of decisions you make as you're art journaling. So there you have it. I had an hour-long session. I pulled together many, many, many pages. Some of the pages you'll see me do later. And then you can see these 3 pages. Which one is your favorite? Leave me a comment. I hope you're trying the quote journal. I know I'm really enjoying it. Thanks so much for watching.